Hey YouTube, how you doing? It's Max. I feel like this isn't gonna look like it's been a lot of stuff that I've done, but I feel like I've been working on this for like 10 hours today, so I figured I'd do an update before bedtime. So what I pretty much have done is I revamped three of the nine cities. Thylanas, I don't know if you remembered what it used to look like. It was just kind of like two rows of houses. Now I kind of have all this depth going. So I've got like these like hills. So you come in and you kind of go up these hills, but there's also these like side pathways. So this is like the market street, and then you've got like kind of like the main spot on top of the hill. As you kind of go back down the stairs, and this is where the like brazier is from earlier. You got the mushroom cave still here, so it's just kind of like a revamped Thylanas. And this is the Elven place. Also, what I did was I revamped all the interiors. So before, all the interiors were the same. So now when we go into this inn, you can kind of see there's like a little bit more it's a bit more unique. Although all the architecture and all of these are gonna look the same, but when I get to Novaloc and Doriconia, the other ones that I did, you can kind of see the difference. So in Thylanas, you can see I put all these like fountains here. There's like some grassy kind of indoor grass. This is the general store. Also notice that each of these NPCs is now unique. So they don't have unique dialogue yet, but pretty much this person, like all of them, are gonna have like unique names, which I kind of like. So it kind of makes the world feel a bit more new when every NPC you see has a different face, has a different name, and so yeah, we'll see. Like this is what's her name? Uh, Melira, maybe, I don't know. I kind of just like randomly like looked up names to kind of about the aesthetic I was going with. So then this guy, his name is Draner, I guess. So he looks a little bit different. And also, I kind of added shops that are kind of unique to the certain area. So like the Thylanis shops, they sell bows and frog leather. So they have the three. So I didn't say this earlier, but another thing I did today was I revamped the weapons and armor. So I'll probably go through that as well. But there's maybe I should just do that first. So if I go into the weapons, you can now see that I have 6 tiers of weapons and armor. And this is kind of basically inspired by RuneScape. Again, a lot of this game is inspired by RuneScape. So you've got your bronze, iron, steel, mithril, adamant, and rune. And then for your bows, you've got leather bow, hard leather bow, frog leather bow, snake skin bow, carapace bow, and dragon bow. And then your magic items, you got your silk, your soft silk, your spider silk, your imp hide, your fungal, and then your demonic. So 6 tiers of weapons, and 6 tiers of armor. So for armor, you've got there's three kinds. There's like your speed sets, your magic sets, and your tank sets. Your speed sets are leather, hard leather, just like the bows. Your magic sets are the silk, soft silk, just like the magic items. And then your tank sets are the bronze, iron, steel, etc., just like your melee weapons. So I got those 6 tiers, and then I feel like I just need to explain that a bit. Also, on top of this, going with all the prices, trying to come up with good, decent prices, decent stats that kind of scale without being super overpowered. It's gonna take a lot of like tweaking and stuff, but we'll get there eventually. Anyways, so the Bella Luna, who is the bow master of Thylanis, is going to be the only shop in the world that sells up to frog leather bows. So some places like Doriconia might have like a beginner's bow guy who might sell like leather bows or maybe even some hard leather bows. But in order to get the frog leather bow, to purchase it, you'd have to go to Bella Luna's, or you'd have to kill whatever drops frog leather. I don't even know if I have frog assets, but That's just what I have for right now. It might change again depending on what kind of assets I have, but it's just a bunch of it's like getting a block of marble and just chipping away at it, making a sculpture this game. So I explained the weapon, I explained the armor. Bow Luna, only person who has frog leather. I guess I could just say tier 3 bows at the moment. And then you've got, Fulmer's frog leather. So he'll sell all the frog leather armor, and he's the only guy that will do that. Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, you'll have to get that, I think, exclusively from monster drops, is the current plan. Could always change, but that's kind of the game plan at the moment. The Church of Gaia, which is, I guess, just a placeholder name for the church that this is kind of coming. Uh, at the beginning of the series, I kind of hinted about things about having like a church in every single place and a school in every single place. So this is kind of where I start to make those a little bit more unique. So the Church of Gaia is pretty much just the placeholder of the nature goddess, um, and that's going to be what the people of Thylanas kind of worship. So you've got your like kind of diamond shaped seating with the fountain in the middle, lots of green, lots of grass. You got the flower pots, kind of making it a little bit of a peaceful area. The Thylanas Primary School is just kind of like this little island in the middle of this like indoor kind of river stream. I think of the Thylanas people as these like nature people, like their goddess, having lots of green everywhere. You see all the little students with their little like nature hood, or not nature, like ranger hoods and stuff like that. Again, unique NPCs. So Chandrel, Professor Chandrel is the professor of Thylanas. You've got the Faithful Fletcher, which is kind of like your little cozy, peaceful inn, or not inn, tavern, with a little bit of like some streams kind of coming through here with some fountains, some grass. And I think they have like White Rose whiskey. Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to be what they actually have long term, but just a placeholder drink that is the drink of Thylanas. And that's something I kind of want to do it everywhere. So everywhere has like a signature drink, and then you can also get your cup of water, your beer from here as well. But White Rose whiskey is going to be the drink here. I kind of want to make a thing where you can go like try to brew your own, like all the signature drinks as well. But that's just a nice to do, not a need to do at the moment. Although I'm not really doing a whole lot of like need to do's, but you know what I mean. The government. So I've got like a secretary at every city, and then I've got the head of economics, the head of law, and the head of military. So again, just another way to flesh out the worlds a bit. In one of the videos, I kind of did a thing about the sperm principle, which is like the social, political, economic, religious, and military. And I also referenced Dale Kingsmill's video in that. So um, it was kind of how I found out about the sperm principle. So that's just kind of like I guess, not really a shout out because, this is a 20 something subscriber channel. So, but anyway, Salusa, I guess, is the name I came up with. She's going to be the economic fiscal affairs person, and so whatever I decide the Thailand is probably like mushroom farming or like some sort of natural thing. They'll do shoot anything that's related to that quest wise. You might have to go talk to her at some point. Anything with legal issues. Elf Elephon is this guy. He's the Lawmaster, and then you've got Wyron, who is the military kind of guy. So anything defense, public safety, illegal that comes up on quests for whatever reason, that will be the guy to talk to. I don't know if I'll get to those kinds of points, but I just like to flesh out the world anyway for that immersion factor. So those are kind of like this is probably the smallest of the cities I've made, or remade, I guess, so far. It's kind of just like secluded in the woods. Also have two residential houses here, so just kind of like an example of what a residential house is. If I need to have just some normal NPCs that like give quests or something like that, I can just plop them into one of these two residential buildings. And so that's Thylanus. and then we'll go to Novaloc, which is the second one. So before, I think there was like a lake in the middle here, but it wasn't really efficient space wise. So I kind of made like these little like dam structures. Again, it's not really like, I think like the ideal would be like some sort of volcano kind of river or something. But playing with the assets I've got, the water kind of works. I have this kind of irregular shaped river. You can kind of sneak around and go fishing back there if you want to. These dams kind of uh, keep a reservoir of water for the locals, and then they have these two streams that kind of go to have twin falls. I think there's going to be like some sort of lore thing about twin waterfalls being a sign of good luck. In another video I made, I had this thing where I wanted to. It was like based off this creek in the Rocky Mountains that splits into two rivers. One goes to the Pacific, empties into the Pacific Ocean. One empties into the Atlantic, and I thought that was like a cool like world building idea for like I don't know, some sort of like religious thing. So I like the idea of like twin rivers, and I guess Novaloc in this whole area is like into dragons and stuff like that. So something about twin rivers and dragons and their religion I think is interesting. In terms of the place, we've got let's see what we got. So you got the inn. They have more like a marble and dirt kind of vibe going on the interior. You've got dragon statues all over the place to kind of remind you that they're into dragons. These are like the dragon people. And so you can see the unique NPCs, slightly different interior design. You've got the pots in different locations, different shelves between the inn and the general store. And this is the Clubs by Kahu. Uh, I don't know if that's how you pronounce Kahu, but I'm pronouncing his name Kahu. He's the weapons guy, and he mostly sells clubs, even though I've got all this other stuff. So they're pretty like into clubs. They also have a daggers store. So this is Luda. She does daggers, and then armor. I think June does a lot of like iron armor and stuff like that. So just some specialty stores. That way you're not going to every single settlement and they sell the exact same thing, just to like kind of diversify it up a little bit based on what I think that they would probably realistically sell if this was supposed supposed to be realistic. So it's not really based on game balance or anything like that. It's just kind of based on like uh, what I would deem their culture to be. For their church, they've got this kind of setup. So in the last one, it was like a diamond shape, and this one, it's kind of just like two columns of seats. They've got little, I guess, silver bars that are being offered to their dragons, and I'm thinking maybe there would be something with like two dragons, since the two rivers, two dragons, maybe something along those lines. But I don't know. That's for another date. But anyway, the two dragon statues, the two offerings, and then we've got this guy whose name is Zoo, and he is the priest of the town, and he has a little half dragon face mask going on. We've got the school. This guy, Professor Smoke, he's a alumni of the Mannheim Academy, again with the two dragon statues, and he would kind of basically be teaching the people of Novaloc everything he learned from the academy days. I like tying in the academy people, like alumni everywhere. I think that's kind of interesting, so that it ties everything back to the academy, since the character that you're playing is graduating from the academy. So that's just an idea playing with right now. Two taverns in this town. So I think I might have them have, I think that two is something very special here. So maybe they have two signature drinks, one for each dragon, maybe. I don't know, but that's just kind of the idea for right now. So there's two different taverns. They are designed exactly the same, but I kind of want to make a specialty drink. So we'll see where that goes. Government wise, they've got their economic guy, Ippo. They've got their law master, Voli. And then they've got military leader, Captain Lani. So just another thing, we got Anik, who's the secretary here. and I've got 5 residential house slots, so you can kind of see them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that we can play around with. And then there's also the fight caves that are still here, and they're begin up here. So that's the new Novaloc. Not a whole lot of like greenery or decorations. I figure they're kind of in like this desolate kind of mountainside, so I didn't really put a whole lot of decorations. It looks a little bit barren, but I kind of think that not every town needs to have a lot of decorations, but maybe I'll spruce this up a little bit later on. Not 100% sure. Um, so that's Novaloc, and then we'll go into Doriconia, which I think is my favorite design so far of the three. And pretty much what they've got a lot of here, you can see all these events are just their red berries. And they're going to be known for their red berry wine, and that's kind of why um, their symbol is, or their like colors are red, because of this wine. And they're just very proud, very cultural, savvy people. You can see a lot of also just houses that are a lot of houses that are just kind of not really have anything to do with them. I think I have 9 houses that are empty in this one. So, we'll add some more stuff there, but this is probably the biggest of the 3 cities so far. Before it was just in like a giant square, if you remember, with like some crossroads going, but this time I kind of added some hills. I think that, when I think of like this like Mediterranean kind of city. It's well, it's not by the sea. There's still a river. I think the hills are more important to me than it being by the sea. So that's what we've got there. And then if you go south, that's going towards Salem. If you go north, that's going towards the Giants, whatever that place is, and then the Novaloc. If you go to the east, you go towards Castleguard and the Goblins, and then if you go west, you go towards what used to be the Colosseum, but I moved the Colosseum in here. Let's see, we can go through the Sorcerer's Garden house. I gave it to Rachel Aubergine, who is Professor Aubergine's daughter. He's the headmaster of Mannheim. So I added a little comment that he'll say, I recommend you go to Rachel's house. And this is where the secret gardens are, which are these little maze things where you can kind of get gold, an easy money maker for like newer players. There's no combat involved. So I gave her an actual character. Um, there's the Colosseum. This is the church. So the thing about Doriconia is that it's kind of based off of like this mythology, like Greek mythology in a way. But instead of it being Greek mythology, I just gave them uh, they have space to kind of worship all the different gods throughout the region. So this is the dragon from Novaloc, and then you've got the goddess statue from Thylanas. This will be the castle guard god of light. You've got the Halloween god of devils. You got the Manaheim god of magic, and you've got the God of War, which I'm not sure where that's going to be from. Probably like, maybe that's somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, there were 6 statues that looked like they could be gods, so I figured I'd incorporate them somehow into this whole like kind of um like Parthenon. I don't know if that's what I'm thinking of, right? But Parthenon, kind of like where you would go worship Athena or Zeus or Poseidon, those kinds of things. So that would be kind of like this culture. They're kind of like accepting of all the different religious beliefs. And that's why they have the Colosseum as well, because they're also kind of into like bringing people together and fighting for kind of like for I guess pride, and not really for any sort of militant advantage. You can see their shops are kind of like lower tier kind of weapons. They're not like super sophisticated in their weapons. They've got bronze armor and like all the basic stuff. So if you're just trying to like outfit your characters with basic stuff, this would be like kind of the settlement to do it. I really like some of the names of these NPCs here. While Ginevra is not really like a personal favorite of mine. She's the general store person. You've got Paula, who does the inn. Barry Bronze, which I think is funny, does the bronze shop, so he sells all the different bronze equipment, sort of like the baseball player Barry Bonds. You got Ricardo's Rangery, he does all the range stuff. You've got Magic Michelangelo's, like Magic Mike's. He does all the magic stuff, so you can get all your magic stuff from Magic Mike's. You've got the school, and this is run by Professor Roslyn, who is also a dean at the Mannheim Academy. So she'll talk to you about how she's a dean, but she happens to live in Doriconia, and that she teaches here and at the academy. So she kind of goes between both. You got the Drunken Spartan, which is the inn, or I always call them inns, but it's a tavern. Inn is where you stay, tavern's where you drink. So the Drunken Spartan, this is right outside the Colosseum, run by Octavio, and he right now has pink grape wine, but I need to change that to red berry wine because of all the red berries. And then there's the government building. So you've got Emilio. He's the kind of director of shipment of the red berry wine. You've got Ulysses Salad, which is a play off of Caesar salad. Julius Caesar. I just think he's kind of like he has a funny face too. That I think kind of looks like Caesar in a way, but I don't know. That's just me. And then there's Vincent, who is Val's father, who is the one of the alumni who is helping you train people in the exam tutorial island thing. So just kind of connecting NPCs to familial backgrounds, I think is always interesting. So you can meet Val's dad, Vincent, who is the military chief of Doriconia. And that's pretty much what I wanted to cover with this. There was one other thing that I forgot to make to talk about in my last video. Um, it was, just a bunch of updates. There's just been a lot of updates going on, and if I can find it, I think it's actually in E4. So what I did in E4, which is between Doriconia and Castleguard, I added these goblin guys, and I'll just kind of like input my guy here and go into the game and show you. So these goblin guys have like a vision marker. So if you go into their vision, they will try to chase you, and if you go onto this bridge, you're safe. But they will try to, this guy's trying to follow me around. And once he like runs into you, then a battle will start, and you'll fight these goblins. But if I can get past these goblins, no, he ended up getting me. But I'll just kill move them because I'm on the test character, and I ran into both of them. But if I get past them, there might be some things I need to fix there. But I made this Moblin underground area, so this is kind of like just like a goblin society that I thought would be fun to have. You can see they have like a little treasure area, some bones and some gold and stuff that they've collected probably from raids. You can kind of talk to them. This guy will heal you. So just kind of like a little inn, and then this guy will sell you some goblin stuff. I don't think I've programmed him to have anything. Yeah, he doesn't have anything yet, but eventually there might be some like goblin unique items there. I thought it would be funny to have like this little goblin, I guess performing arts kind of thing, where they kind of just like move randomly and do these random buttons, and these guys like kind of commentate on the performance. And then there's this whole mining area where you will mine the copper ore. So in Tutorial Island, you'll mine your copper, but I didn't have anywhere yet in the main world where you could mine copper and iron. So this would be like just a place where you could mine copper ore. And then if I want to expand it, I have this bridge with that's currently blocked off because I don't have anything down there yet. But pretty much just like maybe you could complete a quest and then the goblins will let you through, and or I guess they're moblins, and you can go do whatever's down there. But I don't currently have anything down there yet. So that's kind of what I've been working on today, and I guess I did this earlier this week, but just slowly fleshing out the world even more. Yeah, I think for the future, I want to continue fleshing out all these cities, revamping them. So, like Thylanas definitely looks a lot better than it used to. Novaloc looks kind of similar, but I think still a little bit better. I also added this kind of ledge to Novaloc, and then I think Doriconia looks is my favorite so far. I like all the red berries. I think that it's cool. Let me see if what it looks like when you're in it. But so you can kind of see all the red berries. There's some fishing down here. Uh, it looks like this. I don't know. For in my opinion, it looks like the space is very well managed. Like there's so much. I don't know, like green and like just the red berries, and I need to add a little bit more up here, but it definitely just feels like an actual kind of like city in my opinion. So and maybe I'll add like a cave here or something. Maybe they'll be like good at mining. I don't know. I think that might be something interesting to do. But you can pick these red berries just like you can pick the wheat from earlier. So that might be something you could make wine with later. So this is kind of like the commercial, and then there's the residential up here. So, and then you've got Rachel Aubergine's house up here. So looks like that was missing a little door thing, so I'll add that. But yeah, I think that's good for the video right now. It's still a work in progress, but one day we'll get there. Probably we'll upload another whatchamacallit demo thing onto itch eventually. I think maybe in like a couple weeks, which is probably when this video will come out. There might be something like a version 2 update, but yeah, in my current time on Sunday, the 11th of November. That's or not November, September. Still a few weeks to go, but I'll close this off now. Just kind of ranting. Don't know what else to talk about. I'll see you later. Bye.